Hey everyone, Matron here bringing you another first round matchup in the Scarlet Crusade Realm SC2 tournament. This time the matchup is Asgeroth spawning as the red Protoss versus Maefor spawning as the blue Terran. This game will be played on Xel'Naga Caverns. It's going to be a best of 3 in the round of 12. And this is going to be game 1. So we'll see what these players have to offer. I've already cast my first round games as well as Frel's in the captain's first round games. So check those out if you haven't watched those yet. Both these players member of my my WoW raiding guild, LOD. Both very good WoW players, so hopefully that will translate into some SC skill as well. Asgeroth sending out an early scout after throwing down that pylon. Looks like Asgeroth is going to throw down a 10 gateway. Maefor has yet to start on his barracks. Here that comes. Barracks in an interesting position here. Not going to be quite enough for a wall off with another supply depot. And Maefor sends one SCV after Asgeroth's probe. Asgeroth just has the 10 probes here, so he probably should be creating more probes using some of this Karna boost. He's doing so now. Gets his gas up. Good timing with the gateway. You want to get up your gas about halfway. Once the gateway is about halfway finished. And putting down a second pylon here, maybe a bit early. It's only at 12 of 18 food, so those minerals could have been better spent on a cybernetics core or even another gateway. Maefor finishes up that barracks, and we'll see whether he chooses to put an add-on on it or maybe pump out a marine here. Maefor going for the orbital command. Asgeroth's second building going to be a cybernetics core, so we'll see him go for that warp gate tech. Again, needs to be pumping out more and more workers here. Both players should have more workers at this point. Only 14 and 15. Looks like Maefor's decided to put down a bunker here, so he's going to get a good wall off. I was wrong before, he wasn't going to use a supply depot. So he's going to put down a bunker here and possibly fill it with marines. Asgeroth snuck down here with this probe and decided to build a proxy pylon. So we may see this come into play. This is a great area right behind these weeds to put down a proxy pylon. It's going to be able to warp in units to aid in any sort of attack. Karna boosting out this warp gate tech. He should be throwing down more and more gateways here, so that once the warp gate tech finishes, he will be able to warp in units quickly. Maefor's going for a factory, and it looks like a second barracks is on the way as well. Not very familiar with Maefor or Asgeroth's play. Played with both of them a few times, but not in a number of weeks, so I think both players probably progressed quite a bit from where they were previously. Maefor's throwing down a tech lab onto that factory, so we'll probably see either tanks here or Thors, perhaps. Asgeroth still with this proxy pylon. Maybe you can get some scouting information done with this probe. At least see this bunker. So Asgeroth's working on another gateway and going up a forge as well. He's going to have detection with cannons here. Perhaps combat any sort of Banshee play or Ghost play from Maefor. Also work on the upgrades for the melee units and gateway units. Players just building up their economies at this point. Maefor way ahead on harvesters now, 24 to 19. Plus he's going to have those mules, so he's going to start taking a distinct economic advantage, pull away in terms of minerals and gas. Maefor pumps out one Hellion. Looks like a second Hellion's coming along, so we may see some sort of worker harass with these Hellions. Looks Looks like he went for a Siege Tech instead of this Pre-Igniter. So, would like to see Pre-Igniter if you're going to get out 2 Hellions here. You can do a lot more damage to these probes, especially with how few probes Asgeroth has, only 19. These Hellions could be big players in this game with the Pre-Igniter. As it stands, not really sure they're going to be able to get into the space. Maefor's going to go up the ramp, going to lose one of these Hellions, the other one's going to retreat back. He sort of saw the army Asgeroth has. Asgeroth has his units nice and spread here. Asgeroth now getting up a robotics facility, almost all the way done, and also putting cannons down, just like near his nexus to prevent any sort of Banshee harass. Maefor's going for stim, and it's going to start building up a little bit of an MM ball here. Working off 3 barracks, 1 starport, and a factory. He did finish the Siege Tech, so we'd like to see him get out a Siege Tank. There it is. Now has 2 mules working, so if we look at the economic advantage now, over 1,000 minerals per minute compared to Asgeroth's 450, 500. So Maefor's going to be able to build up quite an army here with the advantage in workers and using the mules as well. I'd like to see Asgeroth create some more workers, perhaps expand. It just doesn't have much of an army. Gets out an observer, and it's going to send the observer over his nexus, maybe guarding against Banshees again, though the observer should be in Maefor's base, scouting out what kind of army he has. Maefor's going to prepare a command center here to get an expansion up. So that economic advantage is going to be even larger once he gets this command center down. Looks like Asgeroth's warping in some units at this proxy pylon. He may push out for an attack here. If we look at the army tabs, pretty even, 1,300 for each player. I'd like to see Asgeroth move out and at least poke a little bit at Maefor's front door. Maefor has a good tank set up here. He's going to be able to see this entire ramp. Looks like Maefor may move out here. Command center's almost complete. Asgeroth again setting up more cannons behind his nexus, so he might really be suspecting some Banshee play. Though if he sent out this observer, he'd see that at the moment there aren't any Banshees. Maefor just using a starport for medevacs, going mostly for an MMM build, and Asgeroth could be responding with some Colossus. Looks like he's doing the extended thermal lance upgrade, but he needs to get out the Colossus quickly before Maefor pushes out with this MMM ball. Maefor is going to get his second command center down, should be creating another orbital command with that command center. Asgeroth again warping in a ton of units here on the proxy. I'm not sure why he hasn't at least checked to see if Maefor has an expansion. He could be doing some worker harass here, perhaps even take down the command center if Maefor's army is out of position. Maefor using these Hellions to scout, make sure that Asgeroth doesn't have up any expansions. He saw Asgeroth's probe go out and try to throw up an expansion. That Hellion's just going to harass and ward it back into his Asgeroth's base. Now 32 harvesters to 18, so again twice as many minerals per minute. So the army of Asgeroth is soon going to be overwhelmed by Maefor's army. If you look at army value, Maefor now has a 2,600 to 1,600 advantage. Looks like no player has any upgrades yet, so I'd like to see this forge and the engineering bay used, especially since both players are going for mostly gateway and barracks units. Asgeroth finished this extended thermal lance training, but has yet to get out a Colossus, which is going to be instrumental against this MMM ball. Looks like Maefor is going to move out for an attack here. Again, if Asgeroth had his observer, and looks like I've lost track of it. If he had his observer in Maefor's base, he could see the army move out here, use his army at the proxy, and take out some of these workers. Set my away message up here, set to busy. Looks like Asgeroth's going to try to take down these destructible rocks, get a third base up and running. He's really feeling the squeeze on minerals. Not quite mined out at his main just because he doesn't have many workers. But we'll see if he gets a third base up and running. He should be saturating the second base first. He needs to be making workers out of both nexus. Looks like he's just making out of the one. Should be using this first nexus. He's going to do a bit of a transfer here, which is smart. Maefor setting up a third command center. Now may take this gold minerals, and he's going to swing into a huge advantage. 19 harvesters to 36. At this point, Asgeroth is not mining much at all. Maefor is up over 1,000 minerals per minute, and he's going to load up a drop here with 4 medevacs full. Maefor is still doing a great job with these Hellions scouting all around. Marines are in position to intercept Asgeroth's army if he moves out. Asgeroth, again, has these units down here not doing anything with. Could come in and do some good harass here. He could come in the front door, take down the tank, throw down a force field here, and keep Maefor's army outside, and just do lots of SCV harass. Maefor looks like he's going to drop into the main here from the side, so we'll see when these medevacs move out. The command center is almost complete, so we'll have 3 bases up and running. So these medevacs are going to move out and drop into Asgeroth's base. Drop down here and take down this robotics facility and the robotics bay, which is really going to hurt considering we needed those Colossus to really thwart this MMM bull. Asgeroth not reacting yet, his army's still outside. Not really sure why he's not reacting to this attack into his base. Maefor going right for the Nexus, gonna take it down. Starts taking down gateways. Looks like he's gonna kite his way out, and as soon as Asgeroth gets some units up into his base, Maefor's gonna skedaddle these medevacs. Asgeroth reacted very late, though he does take down a medevac. Very late with his army. Could have been up in his base, helping out. Looks like Maefor left 2 units here. They're going to be able to take down the robotics facility and the robotics bay. But they're going to be sacrificed. Maefor's going to come in again, drop these units, go towards the natural Asgeroth here. Perhaps take down this Nexus. Right now he's just focusing on warriors. Very smart idea. Asgeroth doesn't have many warriors. Now he's going to focus down this Nexus. This guy doing a little bit of dance. He's really happy that this attack is going well. Asgeroth not using his units here to counterattack. Not really defending his base here. What are you doing, Az? You're dying. He's going to throw down 2 Nexus here, though it's too little, too late, and he's not going to be able to get these up and running. Down to 6 harvesters to 31, and at this point, Maefor just needs to go around and clean things up a little bit, or Az needs to throw in the towel, move on to game 2. Try to do a better job, at least using your army when you're being attacked and drop there. Maybe Az had maybe an audition or a script he was reading for his next movie. He was in the last few Twilights, if people saw those. I'm sorry if you did, but our young Dakota Fanning not doing a great job in this first game of this best of 3 series against Maefor. Maefor in firm control, army value 5 times as large. He's just going to come in here and poke at some buildings. Az really needs to just GG here. He's got nothing up his sleeve, and really just needs to make more workers the next game, push out more army, utilize his army. He had all these units down here, didn't do anything for the majority of the game, and then did not react to that drop by Maefor. Maefor did a good job, micro and macro. Built a bunch of units, dropped into Asgeroth's base. Pretty good job with the Hellion scouting as well. So good play by Maefor this game. And looks like he's going to take it here in just a few seconds. Speed up towards the end since it's a little boring. Looks like Asgeroth's left. And these guys are going to get ready for game 2. So will I. I'm about to cast it. Hope you guys enjoyed game 1. And check out game 2. And all the other games on my channel from the StarCraft tournament for the Scarlet Crusade realm. So, see you next game. Thanks for watching.